Welcome, Renee. I'm very glad that we get to chat here about your experience with becoming the go-to freelancer. So, I first want to hear from you. Why did you join the program? What inspired you to sign up?
Well, the title was How to Become the Go-To Person in Your Field. And, there are a lot of people who teach sales. There are thousands and thousands of e-courses and books on how to sell. And I needed to find a way to stand out. And the course looked like an amazing opportunity to do that.
Gotcha. So, when you were first looking it over, what on the enrollment page really spoke to you that made you say, "Well, I gotta have this"?
Well, because it had a lot of different aspects and about how exactly to apply. I had already been in a big course where there was a lot of information and so much so that it wasn't easy to take action right away. This seemed like
Gotcha.
a bite-sized portion that I could digest and apply
Hmm.
immediately.
Gotcha.
And I was ready.
So yeah, let's talk about how you're able to apply it and what some of the changes were. So first off, is what do you say is the most valuable, maybe the most valuable technique or strategy from the course that you just it was like a game changer for you?
Two things. First of all, the answer to what do you do? Because you use that awesome story. I mean, and I want to say too that everything you taught wasn't just like a step by step, although it was step by step. It was told in story form and it was told with laughter. And so it made learning fun, which, learning isn't always fun. And you made it fun. So thank you.
All
But
right.
the first thing was is that story that you told about that old guy who got asked the question, what do you do? And how you now teach how to answer that question in a story so that it applies to the person who's asking it in a form that will hit them and go, haha. So instead of saying, I'm like, I think you said this in the course, I'm a web designer. So if you have any web development needs, instead of saying that, say, talk about the end result of what you do instead of just this, I am a taxi cab driver. Instead, say, I take people where they want to go. That was the first thing. And the second thing was continuing with clients once they do
Mm-hmm.
decide to work with you, how to remain the person that they want
Mm.
to continue with teaching us how to do what you called a tear down in a nice way, where you look at what you've done, you look at the other aspects of their business that they might not have asked you about yet, but how to look at those and pull them in before the
Mm.
contract ends with them, before your work with them ends, and offer them a clear way to why they would be crazy not to continue working with you.
All right, that's phenomenal to hear, Renee. I'm very happy to hear that. Now, can you tell me a little bit about any changes for the better that you've seen on the bottom line in terms of revenue, in terms of opportunities, those sorts of things that you've
Yes.
experienced after coming through the program?
Absolutely. As I bought that program, I was just coming into the online space. I have incorporated my first business in 1996, but I had always been in a brick and mortar. I had always dealt with people face to face. Everybody that I trained through sales training went out and dealt face to face. So bringing all of that information to the online space was nerve wracking, and I really didn't know how to stand out in the online space. I didn't know how to deliver what I did to someone who would be interested in the online space. And so the course helped me sign my first client, which opened the floodgates, and now there's no stopping
Well, that is phenomenal. I'm so happy to hear that because I see that every day with freelancers who have an offline practice. Maybe they do things locally, but it's like the internet has billions of people on there. Surely there's more opportunities there than in my little neck of the woods. So I'm absolutely so thrilled to hear that. What has that done to your confidence, to your belief in yourself as you build your it's essentially it's beyond just freelance. Of course, that's why I call my blog that because what you're building is it's beyond freelance. You are building not just you're building a freaking enterprise that's based on your core service offering, which is what I love to see. So tell me about your confidence and how that has changed.
it gave me the words. I feel like having confidence in something is knowing that what I say will be received
Mm.
properly and with the right framework. And so going through the course, again, it wasn't this big monstrous course. I didn't have to go through 100 hours of lectures and, get
Yeah.
myself all dizzy and try to figure out how to actionably take action, if that even makes sense. So I was so thankful that I was able to listen, absorb, apply, and I knew what to say. And by knowing what to say and knowing how to apply it and where to apply it, that built my confidence. So it gave me the details that I needed, the little pieces that were missing, and how to translate my offline skills to the online space. And I thank you.
Phenomenal. So become the go-to freelancer, you're saying, is excellent for people who they're in a situation where they have a skill that they're good at. They have something to sell, right? Be a freelancer or consultant or whatever that looks like. And when they think of how do I pitch myself, how do I express my value, it's like they're tongue-tied, and it's, well, I know how valuable I am and I know what I do, but how do I bridge the gap, and what words do I use in an email, in a proposal? You're saying become the go-to freelancer gave you those words.
It absolutely did. It helped me draw out the words that I had
Mm.
inside me, because obviously, I deal with very specific pieces of the sales process with people that sell online. So whether it's my clients are graphic designers, web developers, business coaches, health coaches, mindset coaches, people that sell a service to someone else and they don't know how to express it. And I know how to teach sales, but I didn't know how to explain that I taught sales. And that your course gave me opened up the floodgates for the words that were inside of me. So it's like it turned on the faucet. And those are my dogs. Awesome.
Yes, they're barking and cheer for you.
They are
So
my
just
cheerleaders.
cheerleaders, right. Just one last question for you, Renee, and that is, for people who are hearing about this go-to freelancer thing and like, okay, this sounds kind of cool, but I mean, is it just a bunch of other hype that's out here on the internet? Maybe they're sitting on the fence. Maybe it's like, this may be what I'm looking for, but it might not. I don't want to make a dumb decision and buy a stupid program that doesn't work. So what would you say to somebody who's kind of sitting on the fence and isn't sure whether or not that there's something that they want to participate in and become the go-to freelancer?
That's a fantastic question, and I want to say that I feel like it goes beyond freelancers. It's anybody who wants to stand out in their field, if they could be a web designer or a graphic designer or a business coach, anybody who's in the online space that has real practical skills that wants to figure out how to stand out in the sea of sameness. This is a bite-sized, chewable, easily digestible way to take action. I mean, I bought your course, took it. I think in like 4 or 5 days, I was able to start applying it right away. And then the bonus materials came out, and I listened to those, and I was like nodding my head and like laughing. I was like driving, I don't know, cross country at that point. I think we take epic road trips at our house, and
Yeah.
it was just like it kept solidifying all the things that you said. So if someone's on the fence, this is not one of those courses and I've bought a lot of courses and I've taken a lot of big courses. I've spent a lot of big money on a lot of big courses. It was structured in a way that was easy to apply. And that's the key. I want to listen to it and I want to be able to use it. And it helped me stand out. It helped me bring the words that I had inside my head out and work in the online space.
All right, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Thanks, Renee. I appreciate you coming on and sharing all that.
Thanks for asking.